boys and girls.
What are you talking about? I'm already live.
Yeah, I know you're already live. You're always ahead of the game.
Most of the time, unless you talk about last Friday.
Yeah, unless you don't push the start button.
Man, I gotta lay off the peyote.
That's right, as you missed that start button. All right, quiet on the set, going live.
You're killing me, Smalls.
$5.
Welcome to lunch, Jack and Laz.
For your viewing and listening pleasure.
They can't read at all.
I don't know how easy it is to discern between that.
Welcome to lunch, Jack and Laz.
Where the hell are they coming up with this crap?
Where nobody knows what the hell is going on.
The time sink is real.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm doing nothing but standing on the line. You know, I should be doing something.
I stand around for hours at a
Oh
time.
God, I can't tell you how many hours a day I'm just standing on the line. I'm doing nothing but standing on the line.
Yeah.
You're all using some kind of jargon that me no understand. I have to gently blow a ball
Into a warm, fuzzy hole.
That's right.
Yeah.
Welcome to lunch, Jack and Laz.
For your viewing and listening pleasure.
They can't read at all.
I don't know how easy it is to discern between that.
Welcome to lunch, Jack and Laz.
Where the hell are they coming up with this crap?
Where nobody knows what the hell is going on.
Yeah. I blame Laz.
It's all Laz's fault. And greetings, everybody. This is Laz, and it's all my fault, as always.
Yes, it is. And this is Jack. Welcome to another edition of Lunch with Laz and Jack, where we interpret the news so you don't have to.
That's right. Bringing you our breaking news from right here inside Shroud of the Avatar, 5 days a week for your listening and viewing pleasure, and/or entertainment, whatever you want to call it. But we're here to do it and bring you all the latest updates from right here inside Shroud of the Avatar. How's everybody doing out there? It is Monday, April 17th, 2017 here inside the game. And of course, for those of you folks who were running late, you got one more day to get those taxes filed, folks. If you haven't done that yet this year.
Unfortunately, Microsoft is pushing out the calendar as today is tax day. Oh, tomorrow is.
Well, of course, you got the little paper clip going, it's tax day, it's tax day.
Yeah. I already did my taxes, unfortunately.
Unfortunately,
yeah,
there was no
unfortunately.
house sale on those taxes.
Well, that doesn't matter. I'm good with that.
Yeah, well. Anyway, moving right along, we got all sorts of great stuff for you folks out here today. We got, of course, updated the Avatar number 223. We got another update to the rules
community
and guidelines.
Yeah. Damn Care Bears. Yep.
Yeah,
Updates.
yeah, I hate when that happens.
Yeah. Well, the biggest Care Bear I know is sitting beside me.
Yeah, well,
I don't know what he's doing.
Is that me?
yeah.
Well, the other side of me.
Gonna love him and hug him and kiss him. You know,
Call him George.
George. That's right.
Yeah.
We'll discuss that momentarily when we get to that.
Oh yeah.
We got all sorts of great information, of course.
Well, we also
Jack?
have we also have a fun discussion about Suck it.
Suck it, miners.
Suck it. That's
Yeah.
right. Suck it.
So we've got
We've
full
got
day.
a new auto tune out there over the weekend. And
Oh,
that was real funny as hell.
It made
Gotta
me chuckle.
love that.
It made me chuckle.
Oh, I tell you what, there's of course everybody was all over that, including us, and we're having fun with it. And we're going to bring that to you.
It just becomes interesting discussion, and from there, it's commentary.
NV Code, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yes, we're going to be showcasing that video here in a little bit.
I don't know what
Share
you're
with
talking
us.
about. We would never
Yeah.
do something like that, which is the news. Okay, so
Yes, that's right. The news.
the news, yes.
Absolutely.
So we got a full day today. You ready to begin this thing?
I am. Let's hop right on in for a
Okay.
Monday. As much as we don't like Mondays, we get through them week in and week out around here.
Yeah.
Where are we going to start? 223?
223 came out on Friday afternoon around, 3 o'clock or so?
Yeah, I'll tell you, the guys down there, guys and gals, have been right on top of it. The Friday updates have been very punctual and early. Used to, wait around till 7, 8, 12, 1 o'clock in the morning my time, because sometimes it didn't go out till 11:59 p.m. on Friday. Waiting for it, so it's great to see these updates hitting real early on Fridays.
Oh yeah, so lots of good information, and Spiff, I don't know if you saw this in Discord, but you're looping.
Loop.
Okay, so update 223, that's 223 straight leaks of
That's right.
straight weeks of updates of the avatar, 223 weeks of development, and more changes are going to be coming. And so there's a update to the making of Solace Bridge outskirts, and
That's good.
the upskirts have been happening because, you know what, we're trying to retain more players in the first hour of gameplay and as a transition scene before you're cast out into the world at large.
It's in a cruel world.
Cruel world. I'm hoping that it actually has lots of things on introduction to the crafting system, as well as resource gathering and some other things that's included.
This is the place to do it. I've heard over in the past, actually this is over the last free play weekend, somebody said, how immersed they were, but the way they described it was, I appear in this scene and I look around and there's nothing but fire and chaos around me. And, this is the world I'm thrust into, and there's a battle going on. And this is the guy was really digging it, but the way he worded it was like, that's a really messed up situation to walk into as a new player. The place is on fire. The world is burning around you. And you don't know what to do because your bow and arrow just killed that squirrel that ran by,
It's good immersion.
Squirrel?
Squirrel.
Gotta love that
Squirrel.
stuff.
I do.
Lots of new inclusions, new information out there. Yeah,
Ooh.
email. Okay, from my realtor. Woohoo! So, where was I going? Okay,
I
so
don't know. Where were you going?
so the Solace Bridge outskirts, there was an update to the ruined village and the graveyard. So those visuals were updated. You've got some bandits in there. You've got a little bit more. So I'm hoping that all of this actually comes out and works for everyone, and creates not just an immersive event, but provides enough storyline in order to introduce. Oh, yes, Sid, that is awesome. Unfortunately, you're married, so who's this fiance of yours? Oh,
Yeah. Shh.
it's okay. But it's one where we've really got to retain new players in order to build the community even better. And because once you're actually involved in the community, you'll come to realize not everyone's an asshole.
Yes. Hashtag DBAD. Shirts available very soon.
Going to be available on the NBN store? Sweet.
Gonna be available on both stores. One with the NBNN logo on it, one with WRFB logo. So
Excellent. So moving right along, the Release 40 postmortem questions were answered in the forums. So we'll probably be getting to those probably tomorrow if we ever remember. You can also look at the
Suck it, tamers!
Because you definitely need to suck it.
Suck it, miners!
That's right.
yes, you will hear the famous words in Hangout of the Avatar release postmortem number 40. Now, of course, this is a good segue just to step away and throw the video in on that.
So, you ready for the video? You're ready?
Might as well get that in. Of course,
So,
the live stream.
I've got it up on screen.
Let me
I'm ready
bring
to
that up and.
I'm ready to hit
Why
play.
is he so negative in the video?
Now, of course, gotta give a little intro here on this because the guys over in DoD have been getting famous as of late for their auto-tune clips of things that have been said. And, it's been hilarious. Everybody from, of course, Chris to Duke Violation and others. These guys are just having some fun out there. So
I think it's good for people to actually see some of this taken in jest. Some of it is taken in jest. Especially with the Violation getting spanked over and over again. Some of the Chris stuff, especially with the first auto or the one where Master Valo was. Or Valo Frostbane was...
Valo Frostbane, that's right.
That's his in-game name, his Twitch
Valo
name.
Frostbane was the number
Master
one
Valo.
PvP. Yeah,
Yes.
That's right. That was another good one. And, of course, let's...
PvP-ness.
That's right, absolutely. So let's roll this and get this up there.
3,
now, of course...
2, 1, play.
Thank you. Sorry.
Thank you.
We're sorry. But yeah, the funny thing about that video is like the suck it comment by Chris for the suck it miners and the suck it tamers.
I love the audio clip editing.
Yeah, it's a great job.
Oh, and have fun with that. Yeah, and we're going to talk about this a little bit, because I sort of disagree with the comments in there to a point. I mean, there is plenty to do, and they have laid out quite a bit of that. Framework.
Well, we have to remember that the Disciples of Damnation are primarily out there as your PvP, your I want to say Gank Squad, although they don't really do the Gank Squad. They mostly do a lot of sniping.
They're out there.
They do a lot of sniping.
People having a good time, man. Come on.
They do some sniping, but it's not as a Gank Squad.
Thank you.
It is generally one player going after the others.
One other player.
So it's not a group of PKs. But I respect the PK aspect. Because it is the role that the DoD Guild wants to play, and they are always actively recruiting people that want to play that role. And it also gives.
Didn't DoD's got a PvP town someplace, don't they?
I can't remember, but I'm sure that either Invico or Master Valo will actually say yes or no. Don't forget,
Gotcha.
guys, you can always join us in Discord if you want to go to nbnn.info, click on the Discord button, or you can go to discord.me/nbnn and get to it that way. But from there, it's like there really is not a lot of PvP elements in the game right now, and most of those have been put on hold indefinitely while they work on other game mechanics and try to get some of that stuff situated. So it's one where a while ago, was this a year ago, that where Chris was saying that he was all about the PvP?
Somewhere thereabouts, but my commentary was more on the focus of getting the game deliverables in the bag and wrapped up, and so we can finally move on to all the great little add-ons and stuff that's not going to be part of the original promised deliverables. Now, again, we know there's a time crunch going on at the moment. And these guys got an idea in their head when they want to get this finished, wrapped up, and out the door for episode 1. At that point, again, we just got to get the deliverables out the door right now.
Well, yeah, and it's like, even if you remember, like early UO, it wasn't until the faction system. Okay, my first experience in UO, going outside of Britain, was getting PK'd. And I love that. It's like, all I saw was
walk out,
and then
die,
boom, I'm dead.
And
but
ghost. Absolutely.
I loved that just because it was a world that was completely unregulated. But I didn't see a ton of actual meaningful PvP until the faction system was created, which was much later into the game. And yes, right now guilds are very infantile. You might as well consider them the first iteration of a guild system. They're completely useless. They're trying to work on grouping mechanics. They're trying to work on like a raid system type of mechanic, and then from there, it's like, even the way that you declare war in game, I would say, is the first iteration. It's not something that's really been looked at.
It's nothing that's polished. We definitely know this. It's just a base mechanic. That's right. Yeah.
We don't have a roadmap for when they plan on working on that stuff and trying to actually engage the PvP community. And I think that is a very vocal segment of our community, is the PvP community, that they want to see more unregulated PvP and PvP with a purpose. And it's not just...
Well, I tell you, a lot of these guys got excited with the idea of Tramuka, and that's all I'm going to say right now.
The proper PV purpose.
The proper what?
PvP
Proper
purpose.
PV purpose.
Purpose? Yes.
PvP purpose.
But let's get back to 223 and the Autism Awareness Month sale.
Well, I thought you were going to say something about Suck It. Well,
Suck it, miners.
yes.
Actually,
did you want to contextualize that all?
Well, oh yes. Well, I did want to contextualize that as well. We do want to do that again. If you guys watched the post-mortem 40, you will know that that wasn't a blatant outright.
Suck it, miners.
That's right, against the players themselves. That was Chris reading a comment out of the Discord and Twitch chat that day, and he says, "Hold on, I got to read this." And of course, he took full liberty to make sure he emphasized it on the commentary there. Now, I gotta say, I went down to the new mine, the newly converted Serpent Spine mine, And I tell you what, Justin, myself, I believe Blood Omen was there with us. We had a blast down there.
Well,
you know,
it's the major complaint right now is the resource spawning from players.
we had no problem with it.
Well, they had a
I
problem
mean-
where they couldn't get the same number of resource nodes as they could in before it was uncloned. And I
Well,
think they're
again,
still
that's
That's
expecting
because
to
it's
get.
different.
Yeah, I think
We
they're
were
still
told
expecting
that there are the
300.
same amount of ore resources that there were, and then there are more additional resources, which we saw plenty of down there.
Yeah.
So, and the place is freaking huge. I mean, that much I understand, you know. And for those of you guys who are having difficulty with this, you know, I tell you what, our good friend Jacob White, right on top of it, hit that M button. There's a map for it, folks, and it is freaking awesome as well. So there should be no reason why people are fumbling around in these dungeons. They can't find things because I'll tell you what, all the nodes are marked on the map. All you gotta do is click M, your map comes up and it shows you where all the damn nodes are. I don't know where these people are complaining. That's my stance.
The reason they're complaining is because before it was easier to get 300, 400 ore an hour.
It was a cakewalk.
And now it is been reduced to
it's what we've been telling them it's going to be for the last 2+ years.
Well,
it's going to be some work.
That, and we also knew that a lot of the changes that they're going to be making may frustrate people that are used to this is the way it is right now, and we're going to be changing it. And,
fast and furious.
Well,
so should we be panic buying silver ores then?
You should be keeping a very big watch on, of course, the economy. There's a price guide, a couple price guides out there. We've got the commodities ticker running on NBNN, which I keep updated with our guild's price guide. A lot of people actually use that as a base for their price, or a base to put their price lower than ours, as it may be.
You should check out the new price guide. He did a really good job on that.
Yes, Zeke and I sat down and had a little chat about that, but that's another topic. But folks got to remember that all this ore and all this stuff that's out there in the world, you guys are going to have a really rough time when this population increases, because you're all going to be competing against 60,000, 100,000 other people, not the couple thousand that you're used to competing against now. So expect those prices to go up, expect the competition to get stiff, and expect the work to be put in to get that stuff, you know, unless you want to be a merchant, you know, because I'm a merchant. I do a lot of my stuff just by buying the materials and putting them together. While I do go out and collect some myself, I just find it easier to buy at a base price and build from there. That's just the way I see it. Time equals money. Very simple.
Well, yeah. I forgot what I was going to say.
Squirrel.
Well, yeah.
Squirrel. About the mines. Yeah, all that good stuff.
Squirrel.
I'm down in Elysium right now. I only got 139. I tracked it from 10:51 a.m. to 11:51 a.m. It was only 139 for me.
Yeah.
And what's your mining at?
I got 79 with the top skill, and then 54 and 64 for the two middle ones, and then I think 68 meticulous.
Right. So, and of course, when you GM mining and you GM meticulous and you GM survey, because my understanding is that survey now lets you see nodes that you couldn't previously see. So survey is relevant.
Survey also affects your respawn rate.
Yeah, so these are things
that's cool.
These are things that people aren't taking into consideration. Okay, you go down as a newbie miner, you're not gonna see that very shiny silver ore node where there's 300 of them down in a dungeon or mine, because now that's a controversial term, whether it's a dungeon or a mine.
It's a dime.
It's a dime.
It's a
That's
dime,
right.
yes.
We're gonna go down the dime. That's right. There you go.
Ulysses
Yeah,
dime.
Is
Serpent spine dime.
yeah, we're gonna go to the dime. Let's go down to the dime.
Yeah. So which dime are we going
yes,
to today?
that actually has a major effect on what you walk out of there with and what you can actually see. You might see one silver node as level 40. As a level 70, you may see 4, but as a GM, you may see 20.
I had no idea that was a thing. I'm gonna have to pump up the green arrows on these guys.
We
Get
have
better
had members of our guild verify that they were standing in the same instance, in the same,
place.
Yeah, I'm one of them.
mining area, and one guy could see it, one guy couldn't, depending on their skill. So we have verified this.
That's awesome.
Yes. So I mean, now unless it was a bug, but this according to the guys in the guild, they say that this is actually a thing. So
No, those are features, bugs and features.
features. It's a feature. But you were down there for that test, weren't you, Spiff?
Oh yes, I was.
Yes. Okay. So I mean, again, Spiff was down there, and he can attest to it. So yes, your survey does have a major influence on what you see down in the mines, boys and girls. There's a little one for the cookie bag. So moving right along.
It is Autism Awareness Month, and the items are on sale on the Make a Difference store. So if you are on the website, you can, in order to access that, you go to store and then go find Make a Difference, and then you'll be able to purchase said items at 20% off. And don't forget that they do donate half of those net purchase price are sent to the National Autism Association as well as the National Autistic Society. And it's sent out, I think it's quarterly or semi-annually.
It's biannually.
Biannually, so yeah.
All the charities get donations biannually from the sales at Portal area.
Yeah, so then from there, don't forget the new telethon goal, which is the flame pattern stained glass oil lamp.
Pattern.
That did come out as far as weekend news. Yes, and then over the weekend, all the patterns were on sale again. And then we've got silly stuff.
Silly stuff.
Upcoming calendar, release 41 in 2 weeks, or 10 days. 10 days. So which means more than likely Thursday or Friday, QA server will be going up for those Dev Plus members to get that early look at release 41. And then community live stream, you could go watch the building of the Verdantis mines with Seawolf and Barrack.
Seawolf.
Yeah.
Now, I just want to drop down a little to the one weekend event that Wayne was out covering. Wayne Klotz was out covering the Prism's Grandmaster Tutoring event this weekend. And folks seem to be having a ball. Lace did a wonderful job hostessing the event. As well, lots of people showed up to work on their skills and work together to, basically work their skills. These Grandmaster events are held every once in a while, and of course, we tell you about these events beforehand. And I went out to make an appearance just to say hello, and some phenomenal attendance at this event this weekend is all I got to say.
That's good. I was not home over the weekend, so yeah.
And we got commentary coming in on Twitch that Wayne did a great job covering this event. Thank you very much.
Excellent.
Yes.
I hope that everybody assisted him with the winking.
Yes, and of course you guys will be seeing more of Wayne Klotz here on NBNN as we go down the line. He'll be bringing you latest updates when we're not around, as well as other things happening around New Britannia. So you never know what you're going to find on NBNN these days.
No clue.
No clue.
I really have no clue because I just show up for this thing.
He just shows up, sits down.
Makes some inappropriate comments, and then sallies forth.
He's actually got a Shroud of the Avatar T-shirt on again. This is twice in two broadcasts. Is that?
Whoa! Yeah. What? The other day I was wearing the blue one, right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, yeah.
Speaking of the Shroud of the Avatar and all that, somebody went out to the Ren Fair again this weekend.
Yes. No, do not post that picture that I posted. Do not post it, okay? If you want to see, yeah.
Do it, Laz. Do it. Yeah.
Post it. Post it.
Don't make me drive down to Florida and hurt you. Because I know where you live.
Yes. Technically Novia, but most people, lovingly refer to it as New Britannia, even though New Britannia is only a little city in the landscape. Don't ask me why.
Well,
but you're
Novia is just
correct.
the continent's name. We don't know what the planet's name is.
Yes, but for right now, we were told Novia because that's all we know.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's all we know. Where's Arabella? You need her.
Yeah, she's never around. She's hiding behind that damn mirror.
She's doing something.
All right,
so
moving right along.
Where are we going to go to now? I mean, because I have no idea what the plan is. Do we want to talk about Care Bears?
Let's talk about the Care Bears. Let's talk about the new rules.
Yeah, new foreign policy updated earlier today.
Yeah, because I don't see. I mean, I can sort of understand what he's trying to get at, but I really don't see that as something that's enforceable. Again, using a term like that's a term that's been used for 20 plus years in the gaming industry. You can't just tell somebody that a commonly used referred to term as Care Bears is something that is now, first off, I could be talking about the Care Bears TV show.
You're getting ahead of yourself. You haven't even talked about what the new do not section is. Yeah. You're getting ahead of yourself. Hey. So new section added to the community rules and guidelines where you're not allowed to promote hate speech or overt bullying in any form, satirical or not. This includes display of symbols like swastikas, figures like Pepe the Frog, negative religious symbols,
taco frog,
or keywords and indicators of individuals and groups like the use of Care Bear. Do not post and talk about these anywhere in the community or game, or they will be removed and your account potentially suspended. Discussion of in-game symbolism and text is of course allowed, but must not be used or portrayed outside of the context of its meaning in the game, and must never be used to overtly attack or demean another individual or group. Now,
I can see where they're coming from.
Yeah, he's trying to enforce the D-bad policy.
The don't be a dick policy, which is they should just probably put the D-bad in there and be done with it. Okay. And again, for you guys out there, D-bad t-shirts are going to be available here very soon on both stores. So keep your eyes out for those. But I mean, literally, Care Bear. Come on now. I mean that is not something that you use to try and make a point. Spiff commonly refers to the mines and the mine cart rides as Mario Kart Land. I mean, is that going to be called derogatory because he has a view on something? For the last 20 years, all the hardcores called the non-hardcore players NUO Care Bears. I'm sorry. It's just, in any video game out
silly.
there.
It's silly, but it's one where he's trying to deflect from derogatory comments or anything else. It's just
so
like
if I go frickin' noob, I got to worry about that now because I want to call somebody a noob because they are.
Sideria said, or how about the word casuals?
Yeah.
Why did that come out of two speakers?
I don't know.
I think the use of Care
Should it
Bear
be 7?
has a place as long as the context is right, because there are like some good discussions to be had by separating the Care Bears from the not Care Bears. But I guess to use it as a put down is bad. But I don't know about the ban on the whole word. I guess we'll have to find a new way of having that discussion and saying people more interested in crafting.
Again, I just think that the use of that as his baseline.
That's one where it's like, okay, go through your forum policy and say, depending on the context, because you can make a general comment about Care Bears as people not interested in PvP or any PvP aspect, and then say, but if you're directly attacking an individual, that's a different situation. That follows the DBAD policy. So it's one where it's like, leave the generalized term. It's not a bad thing, because when people say it's
so
like,
basically, if we want to discuss it in our own terms and we want to just have, like we're doing right now, general discussion, debate on it, it's one thing. But as long as we're not using it in a derogatory term, saying you freaking Care Bears out there make this game, not worth playing because they cater to Care Bears.
No. See, I said personal attacks. So that Care Bear Laz, who won't even set foot into a PvP zone, is wasting my time and effort because he won't flag PvP. And he is such a waste of space. That is a personal attack, right? That personal attack should be something where.
If you think so. I believe that.
I could have gone much
that's
harsher.
That's your personal opinion. You're entitled to it.
But
it's like assholes. Everybody's got one. Okay. We hit on the free speech thing again.
There is no such thing as free speech. You have to remember that. This is someone else's forum. It is someone else's property. They get to enforce it the way that they want to.
Beep beep.
Every time they do it, though, they risk their community taking their discussion somewhere else, like a Reddit.
And it also disenfranchises certain individuals. But it's one where it's like, it's okay to have a conversation about Care Bears.
According to this, they're saying they're going to start monitoring anything you say outside the forum, and outside the forum is going to. See, this is what I'm trying to say: is they're overreaching the bounds here.
They can't moderate what we do here. It's like, otherwise, it's like, how many times have we dropped the F-bomb?
But I'm not even talking about that. According to what I'm reading here, if somebody says something on Facebook and somebody stumbles across it and they don't like it, somebody says something in the Steam forums I may be able to understand, but again, these are, I don't get the...
Yeah, it's not scalable. Like,
thank you. The scalability. I can understand the Schwat stickers. I can understand, all the other, atrocities and atrocious words out there. But you're going to use Care Bear as your baseline. That just I'm sorry.
The threshold's too high.
It's a little bit out of touch with certain things, and I think it's also a way for them to say, hey, we're going to ban a couple people in particular, and we're trying to justify that means because they've been vocal proponents of.
Do we want to call them non-death bunnies now instead of Care Bears, and we'll just change the terminology until they decide to ban non-death bunnies?
It's non-combat pets.
Non-combat pets, is that what we're going to use now? We'll refer to them as non-combat pets.
Justin just messaged me and said that she is a non-combat pet.
Yes, okay, so she is a non-combat pet. Yes.
The same way that you are.
And see, I have no qualms with that, of course. I'll be the first one to tell you, you'll never find Lazarus Long in a PvP zone.
Yes, you will, on the QA server.
Well, on the QA is another story.
But
yes. But, it's just one of those things.
Yeah, it's just silly stuff, and this is one where it's like, he really just should have said, Rule number 1: be bad, get over it, and.
Now hold on, I'm seeing a comment here from Master Valo. Do you wanna look at this one and interpret this? Because I want to know.
So Master Valo called them love pandas, but they banned that as well in the new rule. It's one where it's like he's overreaching, and I was trying to indirectly state that it's a way to get Master Valo off the forums, which is probably what he's trying to do, just because he thinks of him as being bad for the community. And I disagree with that as being bad for the community. Sometimes people need to see that there are voices that don't agree with everything.
So we have a vocal PvP player here who we want to placate the PvPers, and we want these people to come, but because he speaks out about the Care Bear land, we want to now get rid of all terminology. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, it's one. But at the same time, certain DoD members, I won't name names, have engaged in a few very heated discussions on the forums, and those very heated discussions got a little bit out of control.
Well, we're all passionate about it.
Yeah, we're all passionate about certain things.
I didn't get Starr long to say call me because I wasn't in a heated discussion with somebody in the forums. Okay, I don't. You know, I mean, when I get into the forums and I start discussing, people start perking up because I don't voice that opinion very often. But when I do, I'm very passionate about it. You know, and again, as we both are, as many of us here in this game are, we are very passionate about the game. And what we want to see, and what we would want to see this transform
we want to see the game succeed, and we want it to be
a
world that has enough variety to engage people for tens of thousands of hours. And so we want people to be playing tens of thousands of hours. And we want people to
we want it for years, man, not hours.
Well, tens of thousands of hours is years.
Tens of thousands of years.
Thank you, Pepe, for that donation.
Oh, Pepe the Frog gave you a donation?
$10 donation, yes.
Yeah, excellent.
Thank you very much from Pepe.
Yeah.
Well, it says the penalty for saying Care Bear is that your post will be removed and you'll be potentially suspended. So it's not like you'll get a ban. And I'm guessing, like, the first time you're on a line, it'll just be a swift kick in the ass.
Yes, don't mistake the terminology. A suspension is a ban.
A suspension is a timeout, which is a ban.
Yeah, but it's not like a permanent thing. If anything, it'd be like a week at most.
Depending on how they decide to interpret it, they could extend it to a permanent ban. And they have done permanent bans for players off the forums before for getting a little rambunctious as far as their personalities go. It's like, I really don't spend a lot of time paying attention to the forums. Most people bring things to my attention. Occasionally I look at the headlines, especially as I'm looking for things to talk about. But I don't go through and read every single thread.
See, I dump them into email and I just skim through and look for what seems to be hot topics.
Yeah, that just blows up my phone too much.
Yeah, if I see one topic that has, several replies, I know something's going on there and I go look at it. Otherwise, for the most part, I keep an eye on the for sale, buy, sell, trade, and all that good stuff. But again, we try and keep up on the news as best as possible around here. And, again, our thoughts are our thoughts. Everybody else's thoughts are their thoughts. But again, I think that just the baseline of Care Bears is a very bad baseline to be used. Again, there are too many video games out there in this world, in this century, in this digital age that use the term Care Bear that I just don't see it, And I just don't see the enforcement outside of those forums. I just cannot wrap my head around that. But
the forums have always been a breeding ground of just salty motherfuckers.
I understand that, and I understand
want to be the victim.
We don't want to we don't want to perpetrate the game in a bad light. They don't want that happening either. And of course,
I think they should class it up. I think I support this. I think we
very
need some
hard.
standards, mate.
You good?
Well, it's also, I mean, when you want to class things up, it's also hard for people to articulate exactly what they want to say and say it in a constructive manner. Because you are passionate about something, that means you have frequently more problems articulating exactly what you want. And so you have to actually sit back, you have to reflect it, and a lot of people sit there and spend way too much time on the forums and
Don't ever hit enter on the first draft when you're being passionate about it.
I post something, then I go back and I edit and I edit and I edit just to get the visceral.
Yeah, it's the forums. You should be presenting your best self.
Yeah.
You should have good grammar. You should be like having a proper discussion about things. And there's just a lot of salt and there's a lot of
but
half-assed rage on there.
Steam and the community out there did nothing but rip this game, and they have worked very hard to get the view of the people who have written these reviews out there to a more positive light. Now, of course, we always defend that stance by the fact that most of these people don't come in and spend more than an hour or two, decide the game sucks, and they leave. They don't get to know anybody. They don't ever ask any questions. They don't ever read any of the instructions. So for the most part, I just dismiss that. I mean, the very first thing it says on Steam is do not buy this game. Yeah. Okay. Do not try this game. It says do not buy this game unless you're willing to, and it goes out and lays out what you're going to be in for. And again, one of those things, it's like assholes. Everybody's got one. Even with the warnings, even with all you're entering a construction zone at the entrance scenes. You come into the towns and there's your construction zones, and they're all going to complain about it. You know what? There's nothing you can do about that.
What I also think is most people are trying to compare this to games that have been out for years, like
20-year-old Ultima. Ultima 7.
The number of people that are like comparing the game to like Elder Scrolls Online on the forums, and it's one where it's like, what was the budget for ESO, and how borked was it for the first couple of years that thing was out?
How many guys did I have working on art, sound?
Yes, and how many employees did they have versus a development team of less than 30? I mean, the high point was like 30 developers on staff, and now that's been reduced to where they currently have like 23 people working right now?
Something like that.
And it's one where it's like, you start looking at that and then realize it's one where it's like, hey, if they had $100 million budget, like, or $200 million budget, like a certain game that's out there that still hasn't put out anything that's really worthy of anything.
3.0, nothing.
Yeah, and
I saw that this weekend.
They're further behind in the development than Portalarium is, and it's like
with $200 million in that.
With $200 million, and it's one where it's like, I mean, these guys have done a great job. And you have to remember, it's like, this is a very small staff. They're trying to churn out content. It's not always something that they can do as efficiently or as in a time frame that suits everyone else's needs. Because most everybody, myself, Laz included, we want a finished game, and we want them to finish it. And it's like we keep on making estimates on when they're going to finish it, and we keep on being wrong the same way that they keep on being wrong.
We've been speculating and betting each other for the better part of a couple of years now.
And we've been wrong all the time.
And of course, if us, Jack and I, and many, many, many more in the community out there would allow, and they had the money for it, we would ask him to go 2 more years in development before we ever thought about releasing this game.
I don't know,
again,
2 more years because.
Well, you understand. We want to give them
yeah.
all the development time they really need to get this pat. But I'm digging the living, breathing. It's alive. We're gonna be building it month in and month out. I mean, that's what I really dig. This is why I'm here. This is not something that again, a lot of people are sitting in the wings waiting for the final polished release to come out. I'm here because I wanted to be part of this development throughout.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Agriculture tree that List wrote down. Where's my agriculture tree? I want my agriculture tree, and I want it now.
Agriculture tree.
Yeah, so it's like that is part of the passion that we have. It's like we want to see people developing things on our schedule, but that's not the same as the development schedule, because we have to remember that it's like the same reason I have to yell at you occasionally when you're talking about, hey, they're sitting in the same room. Why doesn't he go tell him to go fix it? It's like
where's my seed recovery?
They all wear headphones. They don't always pay attention to each other, and they're trying to focus on other things. And they have
they're trying
a
to
list
focus on
of
their own
crap
jobs. That's right.
that is assigned to them by Starr on when they should be working on things. And it's like, hey, is there a Jira for that? It's like, why would they want to take their lunch break and
If
do
not,
Jira
we'll
things
make
for
one.
you? Hey. Suck it,
But,
feature in-game bottled water guild. Yeah. So it's one where
Suck it, miners.
You haven't looked at the time recently, have you?
I have, but again, not a whole lot.
Well, it's the Monday calendar.
So
There's
I really wasn't sweating it, but yes, we do have to, and of course, the cow hasn't interrupted us because the cow wanted to hear what was going on.
Oh
so.
yeah. But as long as people are understanding and realizing that, certain things like PvP and a faction system, meaningful stuff, that can actually come a little bit later. Let them finish the core shit right now.
Let's get the deliverables delivered. Let's get the promises promised out. Let's get this first ball of wax round up and out the door. And then we can start going with all the wish list stuff, folks. So, I mean, that's all I can tell you is once we get the, 1 point whatever out there in the world final, then we can start working on wish list items, and they can have a ball with that while they start working on episode 2 during that meantime. But anyway, moving right along.
Don't forget that you need to download the NBNN app on your iPhone, your Android phone, or your Kindle,
That's right.
And
I got a news alert just in from Justin, and she says her iPhone is very happy now. Apparently, the last update finally pushed and fixed itself. So the iPhone's app has got all the proper icons in the proper places, and if you guys don't have it yet, go ahead to go out to nbnn.info or go out to the app stores like Jack was just telling you. All you gotta do is search NBNN or Shroud Avatar, and they will show up. And you can get this wonderful, lovely calendar of events, as well as the NBNN Daily Britannian. You can listen on WRFB. You can watch our Twitch streams. You can catch the postmortems.
I have a super breaking news.
Breaking news.
The Dippy Bird just gave a heads up that he heard that someone was freaking out about silver being removed from Elysium and other mines, and he just confirmed
everybody's heard about the bird
that they are getting actually more nodes, not fewer, for release 41.
Da-da-da-da.
Silver price is crashing.
So suck on that, miners.
So suck on that, miners. That's
Suck it,
right.
miners.
More silver nodes. So how about that one right here on NBNN Breaking News?
You're
Alert.
Suck it, miners.
Be worth like 90 gold a silver anymore. It should
Yeah.
crash.
Well, again, it's balance. But let's get the calendar out of here. Let's get us out of here because we're
community
running
calendar
short on time.
Hey, cut it out. community calendar on nbnn.info. Just click on that calendar button at the top, and then don't forget Google Calendar. It is an aggregate of all the public calendars that are available that Laz has information about. If you want your calendar added, just email news@nbnn.info. If you have, send all of your other inappropriate pictures to nudes@nbnn.info. And Laz needs to set that up to forward to me as well.
I can do that.
And
$5 a month.
Yes. Don't forget.
And that's right. For a subscription of $19.95,
a month.
can
Yeah, you too can
subscribe
receive this.
to
Today
NBNN.
at noon, 6 and midnight around the clock, there are two idiots that interpret the news, so you don't have to on WRFB.
WRFB.
That is Radio Free Britannia on your Ether amplifiers, or go to wrfb.rocks, radiofreebritannia.com.
Just download the app and pull it out on a podcast.
Yes.
That's right. You can listen to the podcast on the app. All sorts of great stuff. Shop the marketplace.
Killing me. Today at 6 p.m. on Avatars Radio, Grumpy Old Gamer is taking the alternative route.
GOG.
That's right. At 7 p.m. is the weekly open roleplay event in Garriott Chaos, because all great things begin in a pub somewhere. This one begins at the Pub of Extraordinary Thought. At 7 p.m. on WRFB.
WRFB. While you're out at the pub.
At 7 p.m. on WRFB is the 70s at 7. At 8 p.m. on Avatars Radio, Monday nights with DJ Killy. At 9 p.m. in Nice and Red is a non-sanctioned PvP event with the Order of Vengeance Guild meeting, which is taking place at the Order of Vengeance Guild Hall. Get in her.
Proper PvP-ness.
There you go. And the final event of the evening is the Record Room on WRFB. And what was the for?
WRFB.
You got a question, or you got a clarification on when that roleplay thing was in the chat?
7 o'clock.
And where? What's the town?
Well, if you didn't
Garriott
get
Chaos.
it and you missed it, you can go to nbnn.info list and you can check out the calendar and get that update yourself.
And if you don't know where
He
Garriott
said he
Chaos
can't read.
Oh,
Okay, it is in Garriott Chaos.
because he needs us to interpret the news for him.
Hold on, copy and pasting for him. Dun, 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 dun. And don't forget, that was our community calendar for this Monday, April 17th in Shroud of the Avatar.
Of the Avatar.
Yep.
Fucking Avatar.
That's right. And of course, we are proud sponsors of SodaCon Austin 2017 here on NBN. If you need more information on SodaCon, go to sodaconaustin.org and you can get the latest information there. There's also a link to the updates on the forums. The forums will show you who's going, how many people are already signed up. And of course, tickets are still on sale. So get yours now. Of course, you can catch us throughout the week and throughout the day on WRFB, Radio Free Britannia. Catch the Deco Divas every Wednesday and Thursday. Wake Up New Britannia every Saturday morning. And the Swap Shop every Saturday night. All sorts of stuff happening throughout the day, throughout the week on WRFB. GrimeyTraders.com for your auction needs. You want to set up your own auction and get things trading out there? GrimeyTraders.com for all your auction needs. Free to sign up, free to use, free to list. It's free, folks. Of course, the official sponsors of MBNN, the Auchenshire and Markham Farms, for your wholesale cotton reagents, vegetables, ale, and more. Located at Dawn's Keep, yes, south of Central Brittany. Our good friend Jacob White over at sodamap.com.
Suck it, tamers.
And I know I just jumped ahead of the BMC. over in Market Road down at Black Rock Cove in the Exeter region, right next to the mines for your mining convenience as well. And Relics by Rild, relicsbyrild.com for all your licensed Shrouded Avatar swag. If you need t-shirts, hats, patches, and more, go to relicsbyrild.com. Use the promo code NBNN and you'll save 10% when you check out. And of course, last but not least, the good friends over at the Marketplace, Shroud Marketplace, for all your virtual vendable needs.
Yeah, Shroud Marketplace is the place to go buy or sell anything Shroud of the Avatar related. Don't forget, each of the shops is owned by or managed by different players. There's currently over 40 different players that have registered as vendors. If you're interested in selling your stuff on Shroud Marketplace, you just have to register for an account, click on vendor registration, and you can start adding your items, setting your own prices, setting your quantities, and then delivering things after they get bought or sold. Yay.
That's right.
And anything game-related can be bought or sold on Shroud Marketplace, including tax-free town deeds, a metropolis, cough, that's mine, teleports, recall scrolls, anything game-related can be bought or sold, including services
on shroudmarketplace.com.
The rain threw me off. The lightning.
Squirrel.
Yes, and don't forget, we also have to look at the time and be cognizant of that in that hour, because we have to thank the most important people around here, and that's you guys. Thank you for watching out on Twitch, YouTube, or listening on Radio Free Britannia. Hey, if it wasn't for you guys watching, paying attention, we would just be two idiots sitting here doing nothing.
That's right.
Interpreting the news for ourselves.
That's right. Thanks for listening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining us today. Of course, we'll be back with more tomorrow right here on NBNN. Till then, I'm Laz.
I'm Jack.
And we are NBNN News. Stay tuned for more news, sports, entertainment, crazy, wild happenings, the latest hijinks and shenanigans right here from right inside Shrouded Avatar. Have a great day, folks, and we'll be back tomorrow.
I hit start today. Yeah. I should have went in her.
You hit start. Good boy. Did you go in the potty, too?
I haven't shit for 3 days.
I touch myself.
I touch myself all the time.